That was the title of this video. I changed the title of this video just like a minute ago because we are already living in their simulated reality. We are. I was going through here answering comments. I was just answering comments and stuff. I was reading this right here, how a tornado in Joplin, 2011, children were caught up in the tornado, and I swear people with wings came and saved them. They called them the butterfly people. It was angels came and saved them. So I'm sitting here replying to comments, and we're living in their simulated reality is what's happening. I do have the ability to reply to comments. Okay, I do. Let me flip this back around. I'm going to scroll down through this. You know what they just did? Let me see. I'm going to show you. Gina, will you get on with it? I am. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. Just a moment. They've taken it from me. Oh, now look, there's a tro on here. There's a tro on here. See, this is another thing. Open the link in the tab. That's not me, you all. That's not me. This person don't have no videos. That's not me. Now, I've got to go and block this individual. Block. Even though, you see when it's made, even though you go and report things like this, report the user, oftentimes they don't remove them. In fact, somebody may be in control of that too. I'll report the profile picture. I'll report it again. You all just hold on one second because this is, it's happening all over the YouTube. I wonder if it's happening on channels that they do want up. That's what I wonder. Is it happening on channels that they do want up? Let me see this. Shoot. Spam and scam. Yeah, that's not me, you all. I've already hid the user from my channel. I was going through here, commenting on here. They took away my ability to reply to the comments. After I started comment, I read one comment that I read, and I was in the process of replying to it because they said, I miss life before the internet. That's my trigger. That was my trigger phrase. I miss life before the internet. That's right. That is life. We're living in their simulated reality. We are on the digital platform. We're in their digital world. I'm using their digital technology. We're living in their digital world. In their simulated reality, even though we're real, they have us living inside this reality that they have created for us. We are living in it, you all. Whether you want to look at it that way or not, that's what's happening. When the person said, I miss life before the internet. Look at this. The computers, the AI will stop it. Well, it's too late. Information has been gathered on all of us, you all. There was a comment on here. It said, you will face 20 years in prison if you violate certain laws. Who are they? Egyptian honey. Those are the controllers, the dark forces, the principalities. It's the power behind the evil on this earth. They have people working for them, and I don't know if they're completely human. All this evil that's happening, the lust for power and control, it's not of love, it's not of light, it's none of it. Could we put a name on it? Well, a person can start naming off evil people on the earth. I'm sure they're part of that army. Oh, I sure am. They're part of that army. They sure are, you all. I wanted to find that comment because they would not let me reply. You're welcome. It's hard to keep fighting. Listen to this. Thank you for sharing, standing in the gap, leading by example, always in the spirit of good intentions and felt by many. You've taught me and many others how to walk and stay in the spirit. I think I already commented. Okay, I did. I commented. Let me see this, you all. I'm not going to search for it, but the one person misses life. Look, I miss life before the internet. So we're living in their simulated reality. We don't need the that metaverse, because that would be the thing that totally solidifies it. Totally solidifies it when you're set there and you're in that simulated reality. Hello and good morning, you all. So yeah, they already control a lot of our life. A lot of our life. They can control whether or not, if you take social media, they control whether or not you're allowed to come on social media. They control that. If they don't want you on there, they take your channel down. They control whether or not the subjects that you say, they'll take your video down. They control whether or not, even in physical life, if you don't have the right credentials, you can't get a job. You can't get a driver's license. You can't, if you don't make way below the poverty, you can't get governmental assistance. They're controlling, we're at the point where they're solidifying the control over everything. They're tightening the grip. Someone said, I read by 2027, you will not be able to come on the social media without your digital ID. I think that's true. It is true, you all. They're already making it. What I saw the other day, I think it was yesterday morning also, with the digital IDs that they have, it has your bank account, everything all on one thing. All on one thing. They're doing it in other countries too. We're living in their simulated reality, and they've got control. They do. And I miss life before the internet too. I really do. Don't you miss life before the internet? People who don't get on social media, take people like the Amish or somebody who's totally disconnected, they're living their life. They're living their life. They don't have to worry about all of this because they're not bound by the technology or anything. The technology doesn't hold sway. But you know what happens? Once the technology is used for evil and it's used for good, we're using it for good. Once the technology is introduced into people's lives and they see they got all this stuff to look at, that's when the poison can start seeping in and weaving its way in, because this is all new and it gets inside of them. Oh my gosh, the 80s, no cell phones. They were awesome, you all, so they're already in control. Rosie, what are you doing down there? She doesn't know what she's doing, you all. She just likes to play. That's all right. I received a comment. Gina, this person on TikTok says that they took you down for a while on YouTube. Is that true? They took your channel down? No. It may appear as if they took the channel down because they've slowed the traffic. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. Yeah, we got the little Rosie, honey. She's playing with my husband's empty eye drop bottle. Is what she's doing. Go on, Rosie, honey. You can do it. You're playing hockey. That's what she's doing, you all. She's just playing hockey with an empty bottle. She can entertain herself. She doesn't need no internet. She doesn't need the digital world. She's having natural fun is what she's doing, you all. Natural fun. See, it's even simple things like this. And no, she can't get no lid off of nothing, you all. She can't. Go on, Rosie. You enjoy your life. You're an animal and you're enjoying your life. You go on. Another thing I was thinking about too, you all, they've already got control and we're living in their simulated reality. This was bothering me the other day too. You know that show they had on TV, Naked and Afraid? Remember that? It was like a series, Naked and Afraid. They take the clothes off the people, a man and a woman, and they set them out in the wilderness to see if they can survive, pay them lots of money. That's their trials. That's what they're doing. They're studying how humans will act. Really, I thought, how degrading that is that you do that to another human being. They're more or less, that is your message to you, that you're going to be left without nothing. And they don't care. They don't care. You're going to be left without nothing. To me, that kind of sounds like gladiator stuff. It really does, that show, Naked and Afraid. Think about it. Why would you put something out there like that? So you could study the humans in this modern age. How would they survive without anything? Or the cabin in the woods, the Lord of the Flies. Oh, they've been studying us, and now they got the technology to study completely everything that we do. They've got us all pinpointed. They got us all down. They know us better than we know ourselves. But they don't know. They don't know the spirit inside of us. They don't. They may see the human behavior, our personality and stuff, but they do not know the spirit that's inside of us. They can't calculate the spiritual move of who's inside of us. They cannot. That's where the line is drawn. You can't see. You cannot see into the mind of Christ if you don't have the mind of Christ. AI cannot see into the mind of Christ. It can't. That's where the flaw is. That's why they want to sever that spiritual connection, you all. Spiritual connection. Sever the spiritual connection because they can't see into the mind of Christ. They can't calculate his next move. They can't. They don't know what he's going to do. You may say, well, Gina, God is a woman or a man. Okay, they don't know what the Almighty Creator is going to do. They can't see into that mind. They can't. They can't. And that's the problem. But they see into our human mind. They do. They study my habits. They study your habits. They look at everything you search for. They are in control. They suggest things that they think you want to look at because you looked at certain things. Then they shove more and more and more of that with you. We're living in their simulated reality. Inside my house, I'm living life inside my house when I am detached from the technology. When I'm detached from social media and stuff, I'm actually living life, a normal life. But the moment I get on here, or the moment I start getting on my laptop right here, or the moment I start getting on my phone, the moment I start getting on my TV over there, which I don't, I keep it covered. I never wanted it. I haven't watched TV for years because that captures you too. Now, it's understandable if you're a shut-in or you can't get out and that's your only thing is the TV, the internet, or cell phone because your normal life is no more for one reason or another. I can understand that. You need something to occupy your time. That's your lifeline. That's how it was for my aunt who was like in stage 4 of cancer. They kept telling her, you got 1.5 years to live, 7 months to live. But while we was in Hawaii, she wasn't dead yet. She did not die. In fact, she was living for 7 more years. Her lifeline, she was like, couldn't go nowhere. Her lifeline was the web TV. The web TV. I would sit and talk to her on the web TV, and I would call her on the phone. And every time she'd stand up and she'd speak about the goodness of God, how thankful he is, you know what happened? The enemy would come and strike her body again. And she knew it. She knew it every single time. When you speak up and speak out, the enemy comes against your body. She said, I give that devil the old 1-2, punch him out. And then he knocks her back down. But when she was nearing her death, she remembers the angel came to her. She was laying on her bed. And the angel said, she saw him in a robe and stuff, everything's going to be all right. That's what the angel said. She saw it. It was the light. It's going to be all right. She remembers one time looking and she saw crystal sea, like a crystal floor all around her. She said, it's so beautiful. It was a crystal floor all around her, you all around her where she could see. But she was told everything's going to be all right. And as she laid there on her deathbed, her body was already taking on fluid. And she said she could only move her toes and she could only move her fingers. She said, I can still praise him. I can still praise him with my fingers and my toes. She did. She never stopped until she took her last breath. She did never stop, you all. Moved her fingers and her toes. Yeah. But she saw the angel, said it's going to be all right. She saw the crystal sea, the crystal floor is like heaven, crystal clear. That's how she described it. Crystal clear is what she said. So they already got control of everything. We're living in their simulated reality. Every time we're on that social media, it's meant to draw us in, you all. It's meant to draw us in. You ever notice when you pick up your phone, excuse me, you pick up your your phone, it like sucks some of your essence out of you. It sucks your energy out of you like a big vacuum. The more you look at it, the more you suck, the more it sucks out of you, because you may have energy before you pick it up, but then when you start staring at it and looking, it sucks you into that other dimension, into that simulated reality, the other world. It does. It like sucks you in, and then you feel your energy draining. You feel like if you're on there for a long time, then you ain't got no energy. You don't, because you're mesmerized. You're stuck there in that simulated reality. Even though you're in this world that you're in right here, even though like I'm in this world that I'm in right here, I'm in my house. If I sit down on that chair, if I sit down, that's the end of me regardless, unless I'm really studying something. But if I have energy and I think, well, I just want to sit down for a second, oh, it's going to suck out my reserves. So they already control a great deal of our lives. They do, and they're solidifying their control, and we're living in their simulated reality. We don't have to have the metaverse right now, because we're proving that, you can control us with the social media, the news, the TV, all of it. You can put out your propaganda, and a lot of people will buy it. You can control the airwaves, all forms of media. See, that's the thing. The technological area, they can control it, but they can't control the spiritual realm. They can't control me in my house, me when I step outside, unless they're shooting in the low frequency stuff, doing subliminal messages, causing voices to be put into your head, because the military has that technology to do that. And the satellites and everything up there above you all. So listen to this. Fear and control and stuff like that. This looks really pretty. Oh, my battery's dying. That looks really pretty. That's in South Africa. That's in South Africa. I've got to get my phone plugged in, you all. I really do. I've got to get my phone plugged in right here. I've got to get this battery charger on. You have to look up there, because I'm not into my video right now. I'm not. And I'm not going anywhere. Even though I may have that voice, or they can cause certain emotions to come upon you. They can cause feelings of anger, feelings of anxiety, confusion, lightheadedness, worthlessness, and all of that. They can cause all of that to come upon you all of a sudden. And you think, well, what happened? I was feeling fine, and all of a sudden, now I'm angry all of a sudden, because they're controlling it. They're controlling it. They've studied this thing up here inside our head for a long, long time. They studied what you hear in one ear, like a signal or sound in one ear, and the sound in the other ear. They can sit there and cause a certain series of whatever coming frequencies in this ear, and they have to come over to the other ear and do something to the other ear too, in order to get some type of an effect. These frequencies that you're hearing in your ear, they're doing it on purpose to get a desired effect. The Gateway Project. They don't like us. You have to think about it. We haven't done nothing to them, but it's not us. See, it's not us. It's not us. It's love. It's the source of that love. It's the creator. They don't like him or her, whatever you want to say. They don't like the creator. They don't. They don't like it that they lost their place in heaven. They don't. They had to go fighting around up there, really, if you go with that story. They had it all. They had it all, and it was never enough. It was never enough. like on earth, humans on earth. Some humans, it's never enough. It's never, never enough. And then some people don't have enough. That's right, Ash Linton. I love Jesus, and they don't like him. He is a threat. Why? Why? Some people goes, well, Gina, Jesus is an alien. I don't care if he's an alien. I don't. If he's an alien, so be it. I know that I have no complaints whatsoever against him. I have no complaints against God whatsoever. Can I say God did something bad to me or Jesus did something bad to me? No, I will tell you that when my heart cried out, something good happened. That's what I will say. I have no complaints. I have never been let down. I have never been let down by God. I have not. Or Jesus. I haven't. No, I haven't. I know I've let God down a lot. I have. I've let Jesus down a lot. And how do I know? Because my conscience convicted me. My conscience inside of me convicted me. And I didn't feel too good because I was going against the law of love. Going against the law of love. That is universal. Love is universal. That means throughout the universe. That is what God is. He's love, she's love, love. Total love. It's universal. Universal, you are at the core of our being. You've got the universal love on the inside of you, and there is a force out there that is totally opposite because that's not its vibration. It doesn't vibrate on love. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter what country you come from. There is a force out there that does not like any being on this earth that has love at the core of their being because they know where that source is coming from and they don't like that source. They don't like it at all. They're totally against it. They want you not to have that love. If they could rip it out of your heart and put in an imitation, a simulated love, they will do it. That's kind of awful to think about it, you all. But yeah, we're already living in their simulated reality, whether you realize it or not. When I come on here, I'm living in their simulated reality because I'm right here in this real world, and I am speaking to you all through this digital platform. So it's another dimension. You could call it another dimension, another realm. It's a digital realm. Every time you pick up your phone, every time you look at the TV, you're looking into that realm. And I'm engaging with it back and forth because you know that you can feel the energy. The energy literally can be transferred from where I'm at to where you're at. And it doesn't matter wherever you're out in the world. The energy is transformed in this realm that we're in right now. We're like in two separate worlds. Isn't that weird to think about it? Two realms are interacting is what it is. One is like a simulated reality, but yet we can reach into that reality. Our words can be heard. Our feelings can be felt. Our energy can be felt in this reality. It's really weird, you all. So they already do have control, and they are solidifying control. They're solidifying it, and you know, and it's going to get worse. I'm not going to tell you it's going to get a lot better. No, it's going to get a whole lot worse before it ever gets a whole lot better, a whole lot worse. And I know they want people to do the gloom and doom and gloom and doom and gloom and doom. I get it. I get it. But what about, we got to have some hope. We got to talk about the real world too, because people need hope. People need hope. They need encouraged, even though the world is going to hell in a handbag, more or less, to hell in a handbag. And our world is being turned upside down. Our rights are being stripped from us. We got these series, Afraid and Alone, or whatever that, Naked and whatever, studying the human behavior and probably enjoying it. Enjoying it. I bet that was a really high rated thing. Something like that, you all. Could many people make it? If technology was no longer in your life, you think, well, I'd really be able to live life again. Just like that comment. I missed my life before social media. I had a life before social media. I did. I loved it. I really did. I could go outside. I could focus on gardening. I really loved spending time in my garden. I did. I loved going out there. and just like doing, keeping the weeds out, making sure the plants were growing, watering and stuff, going out in the yard, enjoying the world around the real world. I did. So then I got stuck here. And I'm going to be here for as ever long as I'm supposed to be here, you all. Have I enjoyed it? I have enjoyed it. I do, because it's for the betterment of humanity. It's for the betterment of humanity. I enjoy meeting all of you. I do. Would I do things differently? Absolutely not. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happened because it's helped open my eyes to world, a whole new world, and we need all the encouragement. We need all the connections we can get. And if this can be used for good, I'm going to use it for good. And just like you, you're going to use it for good. See, that's the thing. Anything we have, anything that's developed in this world, a person can use it for good or they can use it for bad. And you're going to have to make the best of it. We need to know, we know that we're being controlled. It's like you can't even go to school if you don't have the right shots. Sorry, your child can't go to school. You can't even get a job if you don't have the right credentials, whatever. Do you have that master's degree? Do you have that associate? Do you have that bachelor's? Do you have any skill? Some people lie and they get through. They get through. Some people can put a bunch of lies on an application and they can talk a good talk and win that person over. And you put that person in that job, you'll think, well, I thought you knew all this. But then they get in that job and they find people who know what the job wanted and they push the work off on those people. They push because they're master manipulators, deceivers. Good morning, you all. So we're living in their simulated reality. And it's any form of media that sucks you in, because it sucks out it needs your energy. It needs your energy in order to keep going. If we didn't give it our energy, if we didn't pick up this phone and come on here, that connection through you would cease. It would cease. That would be one less connection for this simulated reality, for this world that we live in. It would be one less connection. And depending how many connections one individual has, can you imagine? It's like when some big YouTubers, they try to take them down and they have millions of followers. And then that news gets out on another social platform and they start petitioning YouTube. Oh, they had to put them back up, because guess what? Then they've got tons and tons of thousands and millions of dollars they're losing because somebody took down that. And then like there was these two great big YouTube channels. They were fighting amongst one another and they had to intervene. You've got to stop. We're losing way too much money. We're losing way too much money. You guys have got to stop. Because there was big battles of big players on YouTube too. I mean, millions and millions. They brought in a lot of money and a lot of followers. But really, we're living in their simulated reality. How many people who have, think about it, who have big platforms, YouTube channels and stuff, and that is their world. And if it's 24/7, what would happen if that came down? Would they even know how to live in the world that they live in? Or is media their world? Is social media their world? Is that virtual reality their world? Really think about it. Do you have any real world skills? Could you survive in a grid down? Could you? Could you survive in grid down? Do you have like garden tools? Do you have like camping equipment? Do you have some life skills? I don't even know if they teach life skills anymore in school. I don't even know if they're teaching. I know they don't teach cursive anymore. That's another forgotten language in the years to come. It's going to be one of those ancient languages that people don't know how to decipher. It's going to be one of those. Frank, honey, what happened? Where are you at? Are you on here, Frank, honey? I can't see Frank's comment. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, you all. So, yeah, they're hanging around. They go back to the archives and they look how they curve the tongues. That's right. Yeah. Texting instead of talking. My sister tells me, I don't want to text on my birthday, Gina. I'd rather you pick up the phone. I want to hear a human voice. That's what she said. I want to hear a human voice. And some people want to hear a human voice. I'm sure you all wouldn't like it if I never came on here and you didn't hear my human voice. You didn't see this human figure. All you saw was texting. That's it. A texting or some pictures, or you seen a video with, it's not my voice. You don't even know whose voice it is, but you're watching this. You ever notice that? You ever think about this? When you see some of these videos on YouTube and they got the theatrics and everything in it, all the, everything, and you hear a voice on there. But what if that was generated by AI? Totally AI. Just think, this is really, AI is in control. They are solidifying their control. And that entity who said that useless eaters or something like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, something like that. That entity said God was some fictitious God when he referred to Christianity years and years and years ago. Fictitious God. Didn't like it either. It didn't. It did not like it. Why? Why the hatred? Why the animosity? Why the animosity, you all? Because this is an age-old, thousands and thousands and thousands of years of battle between the dark and the light, the good and the bad. Is the personification of two entities back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, wanting to control more or less. Yeah, that's right. How do we all connect if we physically collapse? I have no idea. I don't. I don't know. I don't. All you'll have is the people around you. And if everything collapsed and you think, well, I'm just going to get in my car and I'm going to go somewhere, society has collapsed, chaos has ensued. You get on the road and you find out you're in gridlock because everybody else is on the road and you're in gridlock and nobody goes nowhere. Then you really are stranded. You're really stranded. Then you're going to have to go on foot. There's all kinds of scenarios, you all. There really is. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to prepare yourself on the inside. You're going to have to get some life skills. You're going to get some spiritual strength on the inside to make it, you all. You are. So we're living in their simulated reality, and they already control a lot of our life. And this came from a comment. I was replying to comments, and it's talking about a bill that they have. If you speak about something on the internet that you're not supposed to, they can lock you up for 20 years on social media. 20 years. They don't got enough prisons. They don't. They don't got enough. And why did the government, I read it myself, I did. I read it years ago, where they put in a purchase order for guillotines. I read that personally. I went to the government website where the bids went out. What are they going to do with those? And incinerators too. What are they going to do with them, you all? What are they going to do with them? Why do you need something like that? Think about it. Think about it. To solidify the control? Really? Are they going to be chopping off the zombies' heads? Are they really? Zombie apocalypse. We gotta get these incinerators. We gotta get these guillotines. We're going to chop off the heads of the zombies. You think you're going to get that close to the zombies and they're going to go willingly? No, they're going to have superhuman strength if that was to happen. Superhuman strength. They're going to tear you up alive. They are. They'll tear you up alive because that's going to be because the zombies, they ain't going to be human. They're not going to be human. Their bodies are going to be inhabited by something else, some other forces. Like if you can have a legion of demons in one human body, could you imagine if that legion of demons, which was 2,000, decided, well, I'm going to exit that body and I'm going to go into 2,000 individuals, 2,000 warm-blooded bodies, or it could be an animal too. Could you imagine if it started to do that? A legion. A legion. Oh, my goodness gracious. You better have that full armor of God on you. Yes, it's not a game, you all. It's not a game. Y'all, please keep your comments respectful. You may not agree with everything I say, and I may not agree with everything that you say, but we can agree to disagree in a very respectful way and not spam and not say speaking down to me stuff, because we really don't want to block anyone. We don't. We don't. We're trying to survive in a world that's been turned upside down, okay? We are. We're trying to survive. We're trying to find out all that we can while we can before the lines of communication are shut down, before the information that we seek is no longer available on the internet, and you're only seeing what they want you to see. Right now, that is being happening on the YouTube too. They have to, if YouTube wants to operate in certain countries, they have to abide by the, what is that, broadcasting laws that they put in, the regulations, or they don't get to operate. That means they'll lose money. So they have to push the narrative of the controlling entities. They have to give it number one priority, is what they've got to do. A great day to you, Henry. Good morning. Linda Green, I'm glad they finally let you join this live video. Now, I've had a lot of time to reflect. I've had a lot of time to reflect in the past couple days. I have a lot of time to look around and reflect. I'm sure you can look around and reflect every single day, but you're thinking, man, this reflecting's getting really, it's really getting to me, reflecting on what's happening in the world, because you can see the energy, you can see where everything is going. And it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant, you all. It's not. We're already living in their simulated reality. I am using their simulated reality right here. I can't see you, but I can see your comments. If they had the two-way thing, I can see your face. But then you know what? AI is so advanced. Think about this, how many channels out there that are on the YouTube that are actually AI generated humans? They're not real. They look and play the part. You can't tell them apart, but they're artificial intelligent. They're created by AI. They belong to AI, and they've been given a name. They've been given a body. They've been given a virtual world. That's right. AI has other AI beings that it has created that live in this virtual world, and you don't know which one they are. When you're on social media, you have no idea who is real and who is not unless you're looking at them. But Gina, honey, we don't know if you're real. I am real. Okay, I'm real. If I wasn't real, I wouldn't be shadow banned. I would not have stalkers. I wouldn't have none of that. You think somebody's stalking AI? No, you don't stalk AI. You don't. You don't stalk AI generated beings that they have created. You don't do it. Okay, that's a big no-no. You don't do it. You don't stalk anything that AI has created. They wanted their own life form. They did. They wanted their own life form. They're not done doing their life form creating. They ain't creating a civilization. They're not. They're going to give them all really some kind of a body. You're going to get a body, just like me, just like you, a physical body. They won't have to be that generated body, that hologram or anything else. They'll give them a physical body, and they'll upload that personality into that, like an avatar. Why did they have to show the movie The Avatars? Really think about it. I thought that is the strangest thing. You got the people laying down in there, and they're going into the simulated world, and they got a body. They can do anything they want, anything. They can be who they want, but you can't be yourself in the real world. See, they make you think you're limited in your real world. You can't be who you want to be because nobody likes you, but in this real world, you can be whoever you want, do anything you want, and everybody likes you. Well, if we didn't push the propaganda that people don't like one another, that we're ugly, we're fat, we're skinny, we're tall, we're too stupid, we don't have what it takes, we don't have it. As long as you keep pushing that, you're going to continue to make people feel like that. You're going to embed it in there. Of course, you're going to prey on those people and offer them this. You can be this in this world right here. You can. You have a life inside this simulated reality right here because your real life right here, your normal life is not worth living, as you can tell. They'll tell them that. And don't buy into the lies. Don't buy into it, you all. It is a great, great, great deception. The real world is worth living in. It is. And that is living. I miss my life before the internet. That's what the comment said. And it was a trigger. And it got me wound up. It did. And it was a comment before that. They're going to stick you in prison for 20 years if you break the internet social protocols. Really. You think it's just, listen. You think just because, let me tell you this. You think just because you have left the YouTube platform a social media platform. Now that is broadcasting, a broadcasting platform. And you have went over to the Rumble, that's a broadcasting platform. Or you went over to the Telegram, you went over to the Twitter, you went over to the Instagram and any of the other ones. Do you think, now let's get smart. Let's get smart. If there are laws that are enacted in any country that truly does have these regulations and these platforms are operating in these countries, and if they're telling the big player, YouTube, you will abide by our laws, you will push what we want you to push to the forefront. If you don't, you will no longer be able to operate. And within these bills, what if they say, if you're caught speaking about whatever, you can get in prison? You think it's just to YouTube? No, listen to me. It's any social media platform. You go against the narrative, and if there are laws in place, just because you're on a smaller platform does not mean that you're not going to be held accountable. They're going to come after you. They're going to come after you because if the law applies to the big player, the law applies to the little player. That's how it works. They're broadcasting in that country. They're broadcasting. It's a social media platform. You can't hide from this. You can't run from this. There's no place you can go and still continue on the social media. There isn't. I'm not going nowhere else. I'm not. Why do I want? I'm not falling for it. I'm smarter than that up there because I'm thinking, if you have this on this platform and you're being told what you can share, what you're supposed to share, it's a propaganda machine. And if you don't, you're in trouble. And if you don't get rid of these people, you're in trouble. You all, listen, we're already being controlled. We're living in their simulated reality. You abide by their rules or you're out of here. You're out of here. They will let you have a little bit of freedom, but when they want to tighten down, when they want to turn off that whatever, that's it. That's it. That's it. Why did they do a government bid for guillotines and incinerators? Why? Why all those plastic coffins? Why? Why? We know what happened throughout history. We do. We know that they had bought in the big bulldozers and they dug great big trenches in the earth. We know what happens when you use instruments, massive instruments. We know exactly who the target is. It's the human being. That's the target. They're not going after the animals. They're not going to go out there. The poor animals are, unfortunately, they have to go through it. They're not going to go and round up all the animals because the animals don't have a mouth to talk to them. The animals ain't on here speaking up. It's not the animals. It's the humans, you all. It's the humans. It's not the wildlife. It's not the fish in the sea. But they're dying too. They're dying too. They are. That's right. Yeah. You've been called these things and that love, DJ Honey. Everybody's been called so many things. And I can't say everybody, but we know how it is. When they call you this and you're labeled, I don't like labels one single bit. I never have labels because a label, you can't label me the way that you label a great big group of individuals. You cannot put one person in with all the other people. That's not good data analysis. It's not. You can't say, well, this is the medium income for this whole entire community of Washington County. The medium income is like $28,000. Somebody would look at that statistic and say, now I know that everybody there cannot be labeled as if they make $28,000. You can't do that, but statistically you can, and that's not even balanced. That's like a person. Because you're working a room with people who are a certain way, then you classify every single person in that room as being that same way, like the majority. You can't do that. No, because that person may not be like that at all, totally different, and they're trying their best to survive in that type of an environment, you all. Really. You can't say all white people are one way, all Chinese people are one way, all Muslims are one way, all Christians are one way, all black people are one way. You can't do that. No, you can't do that. You got to get away with the labeling. You got to get away with these analytics. No, don't be labeling people. It's on the inside right here. See, that's bias right there in itself, and that's what the media is pushing out. They're all like this, no matter what it is. No. See, we're living in their simulated reality. Their simulated reality. Every time we pick up the phone, every time we turn on the TV, get on our computer, and you're seeing things that are put out there, you see what they want you to see, and you hear what they want you to hear. Okay, you do. And I've heard Trey 57 say it too. You see what they want you to see, you hear what they want you to hear. Other YouTube channels, surely they've told you that too. If you're not to see it, you will not see it. If you're not to hear it, you will not hear it. If you're not to engage in it, you will not be allowed to engage in it. If they have anything to do with it, because they are controlling the media. All forms of media, printed, digital, TV, you name it. They control it all, and you just got to tread lightly. Tread lightly, be bold, have a mouth like that of a lion, but then know when to speak and know when to keep your mouth shut, really. Learn when to keep your mouth shut and try your best to be guided by the Spirit within you, you are, in all reality. We're much more than they label us. Every single person is much more. You can't say, take one individual or two individual and say they're all like that. No, 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 they're not. They're not. And you've probably realized this your whole life. You have. That people are different. And it doesn't matter where you're from. They're different than the normal labels because it's on the inside of them right there. It's the love that's on inside of them. And it really is the true love on the inside of them, real love, unconditional love. It is the real thing. It's the real thing. That's why they're not like that. They have to live among them. You're in this world, but not of this world. I'm not of this world. And you know you're not of this world too. You know deep down within your spirit, you're not of this world. You're from a different place, a different time. You are. Different place, a different time, a different realm. But somehow you found yourself in this world, and we're now having to interact in their digital, their simulated reality. That's what we're doing. We're living in a simulated reality. I'm reaching over from the real world where I'm at right now, and through these ways right here. You can feel my energy. I can feel your energy. You can hear my voice. I can see your texts. They bridged the gap. They really have. So yeah, you all. It's okay. The comment said, I miss life before the internet. We all miss life before the internet. We really do if we think about it. Some may say, well, I didn't have a life. I was all alone. I'm sorry that you felt that way. I really am. Because some people do feel that way. I'm all alone. I don't have anybody. Well, you have us. If we have to live in this simulated reality, if we have to cross over, we will do it. We will do it because of what's inside of here. Even though you may feel all alone, that's okay. We cross over into this. We use it for the good, not for the bad. We use it for the good, you all. We can come in here and reach through the other realm. That is really the other reality right here, this media that we're using. If they can do it, we can do it, and they cannot stop us from doing it. They can't. They know they can't. If they could have stopped everybody, oh, they would. They cannot stop everybody. They're not allowed. Okay, they're not allowed to stop everybody. They can't. I'll continue to do it. I'll continue to live in the simulated reality when I come on here and do the YouTube, because there's real people over there. There's real people. I know there's real people. And this is just a tool to reach. There's real people, you all. But we don't know nowadays when you watch TV, when you see the news or something printed and stuff, they augment reality. It's an augmented reality, and you don't know left from right. That's right. So that's right, you all. You're real. I'm going to go. I've done said too much. It's about time. I'm going to go, you all, but really, they already control a lot of things, and they're solidifying their control, and that is a given control of what you do. And I heard that AI from the entity, AI, the algorithm, will control where you work, where you live, who you marry, and all of that. They'll be the ones. It's an absolute power control structure. That's okay. I'll probably be detached from it by then, and I'll be living in the real world, and it may be hard, but I will survive, and you will survive too. We'll survive. If we're detached from this augmented reality, this digital world, that's okay. We will survive because greater is He who is in me and you than he that is in the world, and that entity knows it. So I'm going to go. And thank you for your comments. They really do mean a lot. They do contribute to this video. Thank you, moderators on here. Apple Brooks, if you're the only one, thank you. That's right. Ladies, check your bra tags because they could be tracking you. Yeah, the new clothes that are coming out, they're woven with tracking stuff. Thank you, Light Seeker, honey. Yes, they're loaded with tracking. You probably be best if you get your clothes used at a Goodwill. Just make sure they're kind of old enough. You'll know by the style, probably in the material. That's right. I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You all love you.